Hey there, footy fans. It's time to have a bit more footy fun with FootyFin. And look, FootyFin is on tour here, not in my usual studio, as you'll see from the backdrop. But listen, want to give a wrap on that game overnight at the Rugby World Cup between Australia and New Zealand. I'm actually looking for an adjective here. Sorry, just adjusting my camera. Can't quite find an adjective. Of course, it was amazing for Fiji, and there's actually, as a Wallabies supporter, there is a little bit of me that is actually happy for Fiji, and I might expand on that later. Look, I haven't got any notes here, but I'm here on holidays. I woke up and watched this game between 2 and 4 a.m. and part of me maybe wishes I almost didn't. But look, Fiji deserved that win. Let's just say that first and foremost. It's incredibly disappointing for Australian rugby fans. For myself, it's not a huge surprise as such, but there was obviously a part of me that hoped that we would have overcome a strong Fijian side in this game, but it just wasn't to be. Look, Fiji, I think, were the dominant team for much of this game. Look, in no particular order, Australia had plenty of chances, particularly in the second half, to score a try or two and basically ice the game to pull back the lead. I counted at least 5 opportunities in the second half where the Wallabies were attacking. They were within Fiji's quarter of the field. And on every single one of those 5 occasions, they just fluffed it. They screwed it up. They lost the ball, gave away a penalty, gave away a turnover. And it's just very disappointing. But sadly, it is a pretty common occurrence if you're a Wallabies fan in recent years. And I'm talking more than 2 or 3 years. Anyway, the point is the Wallabies had their chances to win that game. They did not do that. And I think part of the issue, in a way, was Eddie Jones's selection strategy for this entire World Cup. So he banks on a young, inexperienced team. He overlooks experienced players, which on the one hand is fine to some degree. But suddenly we've got a young Carter Gordon as 5'8". He didn't quite, sadly, he didn't have the best game. And the Fijians targeted him. He was subbed off with more than 30 minutes remaining. And then he gets replaced by Ben Donaldson. So Ben Donaldson shifts up from fullback to fly half. Mark Nawananitawasi, Marky Mark, subs back from the wing to fullback. Pretty soon after that, Nick White is replaced by Isaac Fines Leleoasa. So suddenly you've got, in the halves combo, a 9 and a 15 together who are both very inexperienced at test level. They've never played together. Instead of having, say, a Callaway at fullback, you've put Mark back there, and then you've brought on Vunivalu, who's a fairly inexperienced in terms of test rugby, it must be said, an ex-NRL player. Incidentally, on the other wing, we had Marika Koriambete, another ex-NRL player. He was not at his best in this game at all. Jordan Petaia, for mine, had a pretty forgettable night at 13. Yeah, a few wasted opportunities, a few interesting decisions there. Yeah, so one interesting thing is that we had a lot of Wallabies, particularly in the back line, with Fijian background. Look, maybe they're left to wonder what might have been if they'd stayed with their country of birth. I know at least a number of them were born in Fiji. But anyway, look, credit to Fiji, okay? The Wallabies are in big danger now of not making the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals for the first time ever. I haven't even done all the maths in my head yet, but we obviously need to beat Wales and need to beat them quite well, I would say, and then obviously need to beat Portugal as well, and hope that other results go our way. What else did I want to say? I don't know. Like I said, I think it's great for world rugby. I think well done, Fiji. There probably isn't a nation out there or a national team that deserves it more. I hope Fiji make the quarterfinals. So personally, from a selfish point of view, I hope it's Australia and Fiji who progress here, but that's by no means guaranteed. And good luck, Wales. Just very disappointing though. And I will leave you also with this thought. Just imagine Australia's in the position they're in. There's about 30 minutes to go. And instead of doing what Eddie's done in terms of the halves combination, you bring on someone like a Quade Cooper or maybe even a James O'Connor. And then at fullback, maybe you've got a Kellaway. Okay, what happens in those situations? Or maybe if Nick White's the finisher. I know we've got Tate McDermott out injured for this one. But just a bit of food for thought there. Maybe a Michael Hooper off the bench. Or a Pete Samu. So yeah, a bit of food for thought there. We had injuries to Skelton and Tupou, but they're not excuses. And look, there is a part of me that, as an Aussie, I almost want Australia to not do particularly well at this World Cup, because if they did, that would sort of endorse what Rugby Australia have been doing to rugby in Australia over the past number of years. And I don't think that endorsement is warranted. I think Rugby Australia need to be found out for their lack of development of the game. Their focus on all the wrong areas. Anyway, I hope that doesn't sound too much like sour grapes. I'm actually wobbling a bit here. I'm not used, sorry about that. I'm not used to holding up a camera for this long. I'm not that much of a narcissist. But anyway, well done, Fiji. I hope Australia can make the quarters. Let's see. Until next time, I'll catch you in the middle of a rolling maul. See ya.